Westchester's common sense candidate for Congress, Joe DioGuardi.
My opponent has endorsed the Mondale plan to raise our taxes. I'm a certified public accountant and have been for 20 years. I know that if our taxes go up, Congress will find a way to spend them. But I haven't met anyone in Westchester who thinks they're undertaxed. In Westchester, we're overtaxed. I want to work with President Reagan to hold the line on taxes and stop deficits by controlling what the government spends.
Joe DioGuardi for Congress, working for the working people of Westchester.
Westchester's Congressman Joe DioGuardi, a fighter against tax increases and wasteful defense spending, co-sponsor of measures to keep our deductions for IRAs and state and local taxes. DioGuardi got Washington to commit federal drug agents to Westchester and to train local officers in our war on drugs. Congressman Joe DioGuardi has the experience we need in Washington, working for jobs, our children, and our parents. Our common sense Congressman, Joe DioGuardi. He's working for us.
Joe DioGuardi, effective action for Westchester. Joe DioGuardi works hard to solve Westchester's housing crisis. He's secured more housing dollars and preserved assistance for the homeless. Joe DioGuardi works hard to stop the rising tide of drugs. He supports the death penalty for drug kingpins who commit murder. And Joe DioGuardi works hard to protect our environment. He recently unveiled a bold new plan to clean up Long Island Sound. Joe DioGuardi, Westchester's common sense congressman.
No member of Congress is more liberal than Nita Lowey. Lowey votes against creating jobs, for raising taxes, and against balancing the budget by wasting money on more government programs. That's why the liberal ADA group gives Lowey a perfect 100% liberal score. Joe DioGuardi is a CPA who will fight against more taxes and spending, for a balanced budget, and for creating jobs now. Elect Joe DioGuardi for jobs for us. You already know that no one in Congress is more liberal than Nita Lowey. But did you know that Congresswoman Lowey was fined $3,500 for breaking federal election laws? Did you know that Lowey opposes the death penalty and even votes to let guilty criminals go free on technicalities? Did you know that Lowey voted to spend tax dollars on pornographic art that mocks religious beliefs, even for putting a crucifix in urine? Nita Lowey, too liberal, even for New York. If you want to create jobs without raising taxes, listen to Joe DioGuardi.
Congress can't create jobs by cutting capital gains taxes. Nita Lowey opposes capital gains tax cuts and has even voted to raise your taxes. That's wrong. Nita Lowey wants more government programs. I want to reduce the deficit and create jobs through economic growth, not higher taxes.
Joe DioGuardi is a CPA who can get the economy moving. DioGuardi for jobs for us.
Joe DioGuardi will work to cut property taxes for young families like us, and he'll fight for school choices and a better education for our children.
Joe DioGuardi is a fighter, and he'll never let those politicians cut our Medicare.
I have known Joe DioGuardi for a long time, and he's a man of great integrity.
I'm against late-term partial birth abortions, but Joe DioGuardi will speak for those children who can't speak for themselves.
Vote for Joe DioGuardi, the real Republican and a true conservative, on row C or row F.
I want to be your congressman because I believe I can make a difference. I care about this country, and I want a better America for us. I want an America that's debt-free by balancing the budget, but not on the backs of our senior citizens and veterans who work so hard for the benefits they deserve. And I want the best possible education for our children. Now is the time for a change in Washington. With your support on November the 5th, I will work hard for you, and that's a promise you can count on.
I'm Joe DioGuardi. In Congress, they use this card to vote, but they've turned it into the most expensive credit card in the world, with no limit, and you get the bill. It's a ticking time bomb. that cripples the economy, stops job creation, and will make us poor. I'm a certified public accountant running for the U.S. Senate to get spending under control and to stop this credit card madness that's costing us jobs and the American dream. I'm Joe DioGuardi, and I approve this message. My dad came here through Ellis Island in 1929. I'm the first in my family ever to go to high school or college.
Joe DioGuardi, a certified public accountant for the U.S. Senate.
My number one priority will be to stop this runaway spending train. When the government spends that way, it pushes out the private sector. Jobs are created by the private sector. We're spending money we don't have, and we're putting the American dream in jeopardy. I'm Joe DioGuardi, and I approve this message.